Good day, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to Financial Success. Today, I'm going to go over 4 dividend stocks that you should definitely consider adding to your portfolio. So the first company that I'm going to go over is Johnson & Johnson. Alright, trading under the ticker symbol JNJ. Many of their products, such as baby powder, lotions, shampoos, all this kind of stuff, you'll find at your local grocery store. Also, a big part of their business, actually a growing part of their business, is the pharmaceutical sales. They have a PE of 2.23. They are currently paying a dividend yield of 2.48, so roughly 2.5%, which actually equates out to a dividend of $3.36 per share, and they have an earnings per share of 5.91. So I view that as a healthy dividend payment relative to the amount of earnings they have per share. Now, they've been consistently paying a high dividend since the 1960s, and it's been steadily increasing. So this, to me, has all the great signs of a healthy company. Now, moving on to the next one on my list is going to actually be a company called 3M. They trade under the ticker symbol MMM. They pay a 2.23% dividend yield. Now, this is another company who consistently raises dividends, and they've been doing it for over the last 100 years or so. Now, they're consistently innovating, so that's how they're always staying current. I've heard that every employee spends roughly 15% of their day or of their work week is spent on developing new products or coming up with new ideas. Now, that's what always keeps them consistently relevant for so many years. Now, their payout ratios are roughly 54%, which to me is a very healthy payout. I take that in combination with the fact that they have been steadily paying dividends for decades and decades and decades. And to me, this is a safe company where you can invest your money and expect dividends on a recurring basis and sleep at night perfectly fine. The next one on my list is actually a company that I'm sure you've heard of called Verizon. This was a tough one for me because I went back and forth between Verizon and AT&T. I didn't want to put 2 cell phone companies in the same video. But to me, Verizon is the best choice in the cell phone space. Now, they pay a dividend, a great dividend, of 4.78%, which is amazing for a reliable company such as Verizon. AT&T pays a similar, if not better, dividend, but Verizon has a better PE at 12.8, and they've made some recent acquisitions. They've been kind of buying what we call cigar butt companies, AOL and Yahoo. Now, AOL, maybe I don't really know what potential AOL has, but Yahoo, they bought that at a time when Yahoo was extremely vulnerable after the data breach, and a lot of people think Yahoo might be washed up, but it's still a company that a lot of people use, a service that a lot of people use for both email, their investment, their finance is stellar. So I think there's a lot of potential with that purchase. Now, many people know Verizon for having the best network in cell phone service. Many third parties have ranked networks, and Verizon consistently comes out as the strongest. And many of you have probably realized this, such as I have. I get great cell phone reception with T-Mobile when I'm in the metro area, but anytime I get outside of it or go up, to a little bit outside of to a smaller town, I don't always have the best service, but anybody with Verizon consistently always will get service. So that's something that gives them a great moat and allows them to charge more for their services. You notice it's also one of the more expensive and premier services. They get away with that because they have the best network, hands down. So that gives them a great profit margin at 10.42, which is better than AT&T. So this is a great company to put your money in if you want to get a great dividend, a 4.78. Now, the last company, the number 4 one I'm going to recommend to you is one that I know everybody has heard of. It's actually the biggest company in the S&P 500, and that is going to be, of course, Apple, trading under AAPL. Everybody knows what they do. If you don't, I don't believe you. So you talk about, let's first of all talk about the moat, okay? Last year they came out with the iPhone 7, which didn't really have any major advances, yet still beat expected earnings. This year they're coming out with the iPhone X and the iPhone 8, and with all the advancements they're bringing out this year, I can only imagine that they're going to only do much better than what they did last time around. Now, at 1.64% dividend yield, it's not exactly the highest dividend, but there's definitely a likelihood to improve this dividend in the coming years. They only recently started paying a dividend. For so many years they were a growth stock. Now they're much more of a consumer product, a consumer staple stock, really. They're almost like a commodity. Like, everybody's got to have an iPhone, and people just buy it. And so they have such a loyal base of people that purchase their products. Another reason why it's such a great company and why it always performs so well and brings in so much money. At 8.82 earnings per share and a dividend of 0.63, they definitely have room to improve their dividend. As an investor, I'd like them to improve that a little bit. I don't know what more they really need to keep investing all that money. They have so much money. This is definitely the richest company in the stock market. Trading at a 17.2 PE, definitely still a bargain. So go ahead, take a look at these. If you'd like me to just make a video on one of these and get into more depth, go ahead and leave me a comment. Otherwise, that's the video. Thanks for tuning in to Financial Success.